Hello, everyone. Welcome to OZ Voices. I'm Anna Kopperud with ozvoices.com, and I'm very happy to have you here. We love it if you are rural, if you are urban, if you are from the suburbs or are industrial. Everyone is welcome at the table with Opportunity Zones. So today we have Sage Alexander with us. We're going to have a great conversation today about opportunity zones, and I'd love to kick us off, have an introduction from Sage, and have him tell us about what he does and the role that he plays in opportunity zones. Hello, Sage. Great to have you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for having me. So, Sage Alexander, I'm the principal of Leafwise Limited. We are premier opportunity zone advisors, and we operate in the space multifariously on many levels because the program is so beautiful and complex and deserves attention on all those different levels. So we like to assist clients, entities, organizations with achieving their goals by virtue of utilizing the program to its absolute fullest, especially when it has measurable social impact beyond merely the 4 points that the Opportunity Zone program seeks to fundamentally achieve, but going beyond those things as well. So those are the aims of our firm as it relates to opportunity zones and supporting opportunity zone businesses, fund development, conception, inception, management, administration, and oversight. Excited to iterate technologies and tools for the opportunity zone space, along with remarkable collaborators, and very grateful to have the momentum that we have coming into this year with the most recent codification of regulations behind us and a new tranche that looks wonderful, assuming that things will go through legislation. We're in a really wonderful position to support many, many people, many communities all across our great nation.
Great. And tell us about the day in the life of what you do, and how do you determine the merits of an opportunity zone project? What is it that you look at as you consider?
Sure. Well, there's the traditional bottom line, in terms of appreciable returns to an investor or a stakeholder on one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is occupied very much in the social benefit, the societal merits of engaging in the program and engaging in that particular project, utilizing the program, And in these opportunity zones, ascertaining if it's a real estate development, what kind of not just immediate impact, but lasting impact will it have? If it's a business, who is it that's running the business and how are they operating? If it's to be an endowment or if it's supposed to be something that is a legacy type project, how is its governance structured as it relates to the long-lasting benefits of the program for investors, stakeholders, and the communities that are being affected by those investments? So really taking a very comprehensive, multilateral approach to judging the merits of a project, not merely on this is the IRR, because this is a decent return on investment for this particular multifamily thing here. Cool. That's one aspect of it. We really like to consider these projects in their totality, including these public-private partnerships that we've seen beautiful precedent, being able to actualize and invigorate groups of underserved people, communities, places that might not have even gotten attention at all, that because of the utilization of new technologies now become not just possible, but salient, prescient, good opportunities for people to invest in and to benefit from operating and to execute. It's just really quite a remarkable time to be involved in this industry and to help these projects that do have merit, once they've been appropriately analyzed, come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And how are opportunity zone projects best accomplished? And that can be from your perspective through the work that you do, but if we look at the community impact conversation as well, what do you think?
Oh, goodness. Well, again, great question, because there are so many levels and layers to the program, everything from working with municipalities to the end result of impacting an individual that might have gone through a workforce training program. It's all about agreements and congruency. In my opinion, it's all about having there be harmony in the idea and the execution. So for our firm, one of the things we specialize in is taking a project, zooming out, seeing how the fund is going to make its allocations to the businesses that are going to carry out its will, and then making sure that those businesses' management and their ability to execute upon the vision is upheld through strong agreements, accountability, not just basic compliance and not just the most boilerplate of safe harbor checks, but rather going deep into the long-term visions and considering each part of the machine in its totality. And then if there is congruence, if there's adequate lubrication between all those gears, the mechanism is remarkably efficient, remarkably efficient. The trouble would come when there's disharmony or cacophony in the gearworks, so to speak, but that's part of what we would do to help these projects be solid, so to speak. And we have done and will continue to do everything from, again, the municipalities down to the individual participants and everybody in between.
All right. And let's talk about technology. How does technology influence projects? What do we see the future with technology interacting with how we can all make this come together in a way that's great for the communities and the projects at the same time?
Yeah. And I'm glad you asked that because of accountability and scrutiny. We, in this industry, working with opportunity zones, projects, businesses, real estate assets, etc., there's some stigma related to potential misuse of the program, misapplication of the program, having there be a misapprehension about it being only for the ultra wealthy and not affecting communities or any of these kinds of things. And the technology, in my opinion, is what helps to bridge the gap by making these projects not just fully transparent, but accountable automatically, so to speak. By virtue of those same agreement fields that I was just referring to, imagine that we have a fund, and I can use one as an example. We're working with an amazing fund, Auspicious Opportunities, out of Greenville, South Carolina, and they've got an opportunity zone project going on where they're going to be building remarkable, accessible, sustainable, affordable housing by virtue of an opportunity zone business that comprises a vertical to execute the projects there and then also nationwide in other opportunity zones. So how can we ensure that this very complex thing, a vertical for real estate construction development, everything from topography and goodness, geographical surveying, all these kinds of things, all the way down to realty and property management, all that, a real vertical, how is that all going to be able to be harnessed through an agreement field that has harmony and ensures that each of the constituent entities plays ball? They're all participating, they're all running in the same walled garden, so to speak, that even though they have autonomy and even though they're led by independent business leaders who are fully capable and empowered to do their jobs, that they're doing so within the parameters of the program, that the reporting that they're delivering allows the managers, the administrators, the attorneys, compliance attorneys, everybody who's involved to be able to do their jobs to substantiate the validity of the program, not just from again, these returns we gave to the investors, we're doing what we need to from a financial point of view, but also these are the things that might have been difficult to quantify, that were maybe qualitative in nature, that the technology helps us to interpret by virtue of deep analytics. And so pulling in all the right data and then utilizing technology such as the backbone that we're building, again, with standing on the shoulders of giants, very, very grateful for all of the inputs that we've had to date. But these technologies will allow us to be more dynamic, offer much better reporting and actionability at a much lower cost across the entire opportunity zone ecosystem, and support the fruition of more and more and more of these projects that are worthy, that are worthwhile, that are making the impacts that we are committed to seeing, and now with more agility, with greater alacrity, and with less overhead. This is just a tremendous time, again, to be involved in this at its nascency Everything is new. Everything's moldable.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the regulations have been entirely set in stone. And it's exciting because things are getting better. New tracts, new census tracts, new demands for accountability. This is good. We want this. We want there to be more scrutiny in what we're doing because we're doing good work, even if it's supporting the bottom line for a specific business interest. We're never going to ignore that. But LeafWise as a firm and leveraging this technology allows us to make more of a net societal benefit impact at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. All right, great stuff. I mean, if we're talking about this being a great time to be involved, and then as perhaps our final question today, let's look towards the future. What do you see for the future from the role that you're playing and for opportunity zones as a whole?
Sure. Well, I'm excited for greater acceptance, for greater digestibility of the program with more traditional fiduciaries, financial advisors becoming more apprised of what's going on. I pay kudos. I recently received the Certified Opportunity Zone Advisor certification credential, as did my partner. So our firm, we're COZAs. And I know that education plays a major role in this. So more people, especially at CPAs, CFAs, RIAs, becoming more educated allows for the whole ecosystem to benefit because it allows for money's investiture focus that previously wasn't there to be there. And again, it's doing something that is adding to multiplicatively. It doesn't take away from it all. Playing within the bounds of the rules is not difficult because there's so much latitude to be able to accommodate nearly any business use case. Even radical ones can be successfully brought to life by virtue of creative instrumentation and gymnastics in structuring, all of course perfectly within the letter and bounds of the law, but being experts at understanding the program and leveraging its strengths allows for the program to really bear tremendous fruit. So the future is mega bright for all of us, especially as these technologies that we're offering are more and more widely accepted. As the evangelism and the outreach efforts that we're engaging in take hold, and people understand the potential benefits of the opportunity zones, not just from a financial standpoint, but the benefit it can do for our country. And not just our country, but by proxy, the world. And so if we indeed make these investments, these wise investments, benefiting from all the capital gains and divestiture and all this fun stuff that we get to do and reinvest these things into our communities, allow them to roll, allow them to magnify, amplify, I know my daughter will be in a much better position than we are starting this game in.
Wonderful. All right. That was very inspiring. Through opportunity zones, that's the point, to be inspired and look at community impact and finding the right people to bring together and create the bridges around opportunity. And I always say we look at that impact in the community, the opportunities that are being created there. We also, though, have to recognize the importance of getting everything in order for those projects, all that technical work, so that those projects can make it into those exact communities and have this interplay out in the real world. So I love what is inspiring about opportunity zones. I love hearing it when we have conversations. We're going to have to talk about this again in the future of that, I am certain. And I'm so grateful for your time. We will absolutely be back again, I think, looking at the certain hook on looking towards the future, making the world a better place. And we're going to be here. Thank you so much to Sage Alexander. We will pick this up in the future to discuss that topic. We'll be here in the future. Perhaps we will see you then. And if not, we will see you next time. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much. And we'll see you.